Good afternoon everyone. So today we're at a little Peugeot 308cc 2011. Customer's complaint is the engine is running rubbish. Sorry, I was corrected there. The technical term is running rough. So we have a full code scan using the Launch X431 Plus. I don't know why I told you that. Anyway, a P0087 diesel high pressure regulation, circuit pressure below reference value. Ooh. And then we have a ECU internal fault on the power steering pump and the power on fault under voltage. So this will be the reason it's running rough. Let's just start her up. Oh, she starts. Oh, here we go. Take your choice. Let's pick the first one. Oh, I took a picture of this as well. Oh, it is rough. Let me see. I went into pictures. I think I took a screenshot of what the engine was. Here we go. 8FP. Did I read that wrong? 8FP, no, never. 8FP. So 8FP. I've got nothing there. Eh? Let's pick another one. Oh, could be this one. I don't know. It's no. Let's try this one. I hate when you get all these engine codes. Go for that. Fuel pressure injection be awarded and certain. Cylinder 1 misfire. Could be in bad injector if it's indeed. Let's read data stream. Fuel injection and emission. Well, let's just select the lot. We'll look at pressures. Coolant 17. They look not too bad. Engine speed. So no pressures there. Ignition. Nothing there. Air inlet. Nothing there. Driving. Programming data. It's unbelievable. All that I want is pressure. And I cannot find it. But then again, I'm not even sure if I'm on the right. Engine code. I think it has to be there. Version. Bosch. Right, I'll come back to you once I've worked this out. Right, I've just came out, I've just went back to the general scan. So you see, with fuel pressure measured at injection rail lower, so misfire on undetermined cylinders and misfire on cylinder 1. So my theory is this P3037, that one is causing this one to be lower. So I think we've probably got excessive leak off on that cylinder, on that fuel injector. I would think, but we need a pressure value first of all. Right, first rule of thumb, identify the vehicle you're dealing with. So I use this Coma oil app, put the registration in. So you can see this is actually a petrol. It's a VTI and the engine code is 5FV. So there we go, VTI THP, so 5FV, so I've selected, it's a 308, so let's go into this one. I thought this was a diesel for some reason. So go OK. So I'll just do a code scan with this thing. So it just flashed up there. engine stop. So this is better, a P0087, petrol high pressure regulation fault, fuel rail pressure too low. So this must be a GDI, and it's got misfire and combustion misfire in cylinder 1. So it's a P1336 and a P1337. So let's go into this, see what this does. So I should just put the radio on to identify what it is, so let's see. So we're left with two options, which is a bit better, so let's go for the first one. So go to codes again. So exactly the same as what we've seen before. And we'll go to our data. See if there's anything there. So cylinder 1, so milliseconds. So 1.25, 1.2, 1. So there's no much in it there, is there? Let's see, coolant temperature's getting up. 95. So you can see there, downstream sensor status weak. On off upstream set weak, rich, weak, rich. So it's in closed loop. So it's downstream, upstream sensor regulation closed loop, downstream sensor regulation open loop. Right, so we went into turbocharging direct injection. It says petrol rail pressure reference value bar, so it's looking for 30 bar, and fuel pressure regulator control, so that's the valve that controls it going in. Is that the percentage of that thing? You know, no idea. Rail pressure and bar, so look, petrol rail pressure and bar 2,550. So is that in default mode? Actually that's what it is, or is this the car? Is this the scan tool maybe? They're showing it right. So reference 30 and hit scene. That's almost like an open circuit. I've never seen anything else in there. Let's see if we can clear this code. I will clear the codes. Failed to clear remaining, please ensure. Clear codes. So codes. Retry. Oh dear. Because I put the key off. Codes. Exit. Have to come out of the module. Go back in again. Codes. So I've got that there. Clear codes. Import Ethernet needs to reset. Turn ignition off for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then on again. Continue. So codes. So just for a laugh, let's go back into data. Direct injection. So that's still at 2.5. And these are both at 5, so let's start our back up, see if this makes it any worse. So that one is 30, 36. If anyone's came back up yet. Codes. None's came up at the moment. Let's have a look under the hood. So just a quick look here, it looks like all the coils, so that'd be 1, 2 and 3, been changed bar number 4. That's unusual. So, maybe better to have a read of the spark plugs. Maybe that'd be easier. So we've been running it for 10 minutes here, just idling right enough. And the code's not reappeared. So I'm wondering if that one has still got the original coil. Is maybe where the problem is. It's maybe a misfire which is shutting down the injector. So I'm going to swap these coils over and see if the code reappears, say on cylinder 2. That's what we'll do, swap the coils over. So there you go. That looks like a brand new coil there, so we'll pop that into number 1. And here's the other coil here. So you can see this is exactly the same as you have on a Mini. Same setup, so we'll try that, see if the code reappears. So we've been running for 5 minutes. And I certainly can't feel a miss at the moment, and the codes are not came back. But I'm not convinced that is cylinder 1, so what I'll do is disconnect that coil and see what code's generated. So I've disconnected that coil. I think this is number 1, but just let's wait and see what comes back. So, went to codes, oh no, communication, exit, stop communication, return, stop communicado, continue, back into this one. Sorry about this, codes. So let's start it up, even though that number 1's disconnected. There we have we've got a misfire now anyway. Codes. Huh. Still no codes present. Codes. Nothing. Oh my goodness. Codes. Coil's disconnected and it still doesn't generate a code. We'll maybe come up with something new. We've got a warning lamp. So that's cylinder 4. So that's the wrong side. So this one's in reverse because the original code that we had is cylinder 1. So it's the opposite end. That's the original code that we had there. Right, let's swap it with that. Right, there's number 1 spark plug. You see it's sooty. Definitely running rich. And there's number 2 spark plug. Definitely running rich. So I'm not even sure if this is a GDI system. No, I think it is. But I would imagine they're all rich. Process. With these plugs, 2 of the plugs being, they're rich. So I think the misfire, I think it's caused by too rich. So I'm leaning towards an O2 sensor, especially maybe the downstream. So let's see. Fuel injection and emission control. In fact, maybe it'd be better to just be generic OBD. So downstream oxygen sensor. So downstream sensor, it's an open loop. I wonder if this is what's driving it rich. Because downstream sensor regulation, it's an open loop. Downstream sensor status, rich. So they're both saying rich. So on-off oxygen sensor status, rich. That's saying rich. So the car is rich and it's saying it's rich. And that one never changes. Oh no, it did. Let's give it the gun. did change. I think we need to give this thing a run. So you can see the downstream sensor status is staying weak. Now it has got, it's switching, but it's still remaining in open loop. So how come the upstream can go into closed loop, yet the downstream remains in open loop? The downstream sensor heating. Richness reference 1. So it's saying it's rich now, but still in open loop. See if there's any more faults came back. No. Let's stop communication and just jump into generic OBD. So generic OBD, I'll just let you see this. It's no flung a code yet. So we're going to display trouble codes. So that's okay, but I wish this had pending, but it's not got that. So it's display current data. So throttle position, we'll slowly update this. So fuel system 1, open loop driving, that's because I revved it. So it's in closed loop. Air intake 20, intake map 35, that seems about right. Short term fuel trim bank 1, it's taken away -10. So it knows it's rich, right? So O2 voltage bank 1, sensor 1. So I've got the ability to drive it lean. Slow this. But as can do it. Take it away. It's fuel rail pressure set. Fuel pressure 700 psi. Calculated load. So when you go into the mode 6, this one says it's past the threshold, but it's not complete. See, test cycles, not complete, not complete, not complete, right? But funny, when we go into bank 1, sensor 1, it's all complete, so you think it would complete it at the same time. See, look, past. Well, that's not complete either. Just using this little tool here at the moment, and there's no any pending codes or store codes at the moment. So closed loop. Short term, that looks okay at the moment. Long term, but we cleared out the code, so we can't really go by that. RPM, spark. I mean, that's good. Short term. That's this one here. It's changing. Sorry, see that? So I've drove this vehicle. It's not that bad actually. I just feel like it's holding back a little. But I'm going to try and watch the data as we go along here. So I'm going into pending codes. Enter. Sorry. Nothing. I'm going to store codes. Nothing. Maybe excessive idling's caused that, I don't know. This is getting more bizarre now. So now we've got a P0079 air intake flow fault coherence. What is going on with this machine? Back into this tool again, this is driving me insane. Upstream richness, value invalid. Upstream sensor regularity, closed loop. But see this downstream. Right, downstream mixture correction 0. And it's still in open loop. And it says it's rich. That's in closed loop. Right, well, Flora. Inconclusive. Right, this is going to be a bit of a roll of the dice. I've run this, it's got plenty of power. And you can see the upstream's getting controlled okay. I'm worried about that downstream, and I think I've seen this before in a Ford. That I think the downstream may be the problem. It's lazy or it's reading it wrong. So we installed a new high pressure fuel pump, and this car is now fixed. Sorry for the long roundabout explanation, but I was quite stuck with this. But always go for an OE pump. Cheers.